You're listening to Heathers Do Vegas. Join your go-to duo for all things celebrity gossip, reality TV reviews, fashion tips, and of course, all the inside scoop on Sin City.
Is that going on your podcast?
Hello and welcome to Heathers Do Vegas. I'm Heather Ashley.
I'm Heather Nichole. Hi, Heather.
Hi, Heather. How are you?
Or I should say hi, Pookie. I'm wearing a Love Shack fancy sweatshirt.
Oh my gosh, what happened to Pookie? I don't see Pookie.
Pookie's pregnant.
She went into retirement?
Pregnant. She was actually in social media before that happened. I read an article about it.
Yeah.
It's still a little weird. Do you think he calls her Pookie in the bedroom?
Yeah, I'd say yes.
Now he does. I don't know if that would do it for me.
That's so funny.
I'm lying. It probably would.
Oh my gosh. So we're getting close to mid-December and almost the end of this year, which is crazy. I can't believe it. And I don't know if you've seen this, because even though it's the end of a year, but I'm excited about this. I think it's an end of an era of the big butt. In particular, the Kardashian big butt. Khloe Kardashian put out some photos recently, and her backside is notably smaller.
I mean, are you saying that you think that they all have implants in their butts?
They certainly are artificially enhanced, in my opinion.
I think that, Kim for sure has amazing implants. I think Khloe got implants recently. I think she just got a small one. Here.
Breast implants.
Breast implants, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I'm not a big butt girl. I can take it or leave it.
Yeah. But I mean, you have to admit the Kardashian era, all, toward the end of them being on E! And then their Hulu series, their look, if you will, really became, what is traditional or trendy beauty that's,
Yes.
the trend.
That makes me more sad to see what is happening now with makeup, right? I'm a makeup girl. I love makeup. With, the Kardashians having the heavy lash, the heavy extensions, the heavy curls, that ushers out. And you see all these Instagrammers, and no shame to anyone that does it, put on, the no makeup. And I'll count. I don't think I've seen any videos with less than 17 products. I'm like, and that takes you 30 minutes to look like you looked better before you start messing with everything. That makes me very sad. I hope that they reinvent something and they stay on top of what's coming out next, because now they just look like they have too much money.
Well, Kylie is certainly the leader in the makeup department of that family. I mean, even though hers is pretty soft, relatively speaking, but I mean, that's what she's built her brand or empire on, and she's all about the lip.
Yeah, I mean, I love me a Kylie lip kit, but it's just not, like, I wouldn't go out wearing a matte lip right now. I wouldn't. No one would. It's all nude lip gloss. It's been like that for at least a year. I hate to follow the trends, but I mean, I'm going to say something controversial maybe. I think trendy makeup just makes you look younger.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It can, there are some cases where, you gotta do what's, I think, appropriate for your age, your complexion, your face in general too. I mean, just not everything looks good on everybody.
Yeah, the So Demure thing definitely factors in.
Yeah, just because it's popular on, it's the TikTok trend doesn't mean it's going to do wonders for you. Just my little tip. But I will say, though, I am glad to see hopefully the big butt era end, and let's see what's next.
Yeah. Let's see what's next.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're talking about couples, and yeah, there were a lot of hot couples this year. Some really interesting people out there, and breakups too. I know one
Yeah.
of our favorites is Sabrina Carpenter and Barry Keogh. Wait, I'm trying to remember his last name.
Kehoe, I think,
Kehoe. Okay.
from
Yeah.
Saltburn.
Yes. Yeah, we
I
love
think
that movie.
you told me to watch that. I was like, what am I watching?
I know. I'm wondering what he's going to be in next. I haven't seen anything.
He's recording some movie right now, and he changed his look, but he is recording the Peaky Blinders movie. Which
Hmm.
Peaky Blinders is one of those TV shows, and there's more than just one. That the name didn't lend itself to people watching it for how good it is. It's just a really dumb name.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't catch that one, but I did hear some good buzz about it.
It's like 6 episodes. It's 4 seasons, but it's Cillian Murphy. He's amazing. But back
Yeah.
to the breakup. What's my number one rule with men? Who should not be married? Let's say it together. Famous men
Famous men,
and rich
rich
men.
men.
They
Okay.
can't do it when they're not
Mhm.
one of those two things. And I don't mean I mean rich, honey. Rich.
Yeah. Barry's doesn't fall in that
At
category,
least a M. But he's famous.
but right. He's got one of the two.
Yeah.
So their breakup, I'm hearing, is pretty bad. I don't know. I mean, do you think it's a cheating thing?
Yeah. They said he hooked up with a TikTok influencer.
Mm.
Famous men can't say no to women. That there's always a woman there. There's always a girl lined up behind the next girl. You
Yeah.
have to really be secure in yourself in the relationship to say no.
Yeah. I did see a little a snippet video of this alleged hookup TikTok girl. So, oh my gosh, did you have any other favorite couples of the year? Celebrity couples?
No. I mean, the breakups were epic. J-Lo and Ben, epic.
Yeah.
Channing, epic.
Yeah.
Nothing too exciting. Nothing surprising. I'm waiting for a dark horse to come out and you'd be like, what? It'll happen.
Right. J-Lo and Ben, my goodness. Wouldn't that be crazy if they got together a third time?
I think they will.
It
I just don't
wouldn't
think they're
surprise
good
me.
married.
Yeah. How sad. Oh my gosh. Other crazy stuff out there. You were telling me that did you see the new Girls Gone Wild docuseries?
Yeah, I did. So I did watch it because we came up in that era, right, where Maxim magazine was like, the cool girl spot, the Maxim magazine. And I watched all 3 episodes of it, and this reporter interviews him, and he wouldn't let her be on camera. And he subsequently like just slams her for doing, there's no way to spin it in his favor. But they were very much he gives credit to Instagram influencers later leading to OnlyFans from how he marketed what he did. He worked for like a production company, and he started with the stuff that was too hot for TV. That's how it started. Now I've never actually seen one of those videos. Have you?
No, when it was advertised on TV, remember they had, almost like infomercials, like longer than a 30-second. I mean, these were like 60-second or maybe 2-minute promotions for the videos, and I felt like I got the point. I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
He actually couldn't get those videos marketed. He put him on the Howard Stern show, and that was the first person to pick it up, and from there it snowballed. But we were in and out of some of those places. Like, he only went to small places to record, like Lake Havasu was really big for spring break, Florida, Texas. So even though we were in that party era, I never saw the band. The thing is there was more than just girls showing their chi-chis in the video. It extended to shower scenes and fun with toys, and they interviewed some of the video people. But the thing is now is they never touched on how far we've come from. You would never ever do that. They never even alluded to the Me Too movement. It's so polarizing for him to sit there and say that he was villainized. I don't know. What are your thoughts on him without even just watching the
Well,
documentary?
did he produce this docuseries? If it's
No, it was not in his favor.
It was not. Okay. But
I'm
he
just
agreed.
speaking about how he credits Girls Gone Wild.
Okay. So he's a participant in the video and he's being interviewed.
He's just interviewed on tape. No visual.
Oh, interesting. So did they use past footage and
Yes. So she went to
Okay.
his house in Punta whatever Canta and with security and recorded.
Okay. Interesting.
It's
Yeah,
really interesting.
I haven't seen it. I'd like to, because it is interesting from a historical standpoint that time, and yeah, and how all of this has evolved. And yeah, and and it's really like it's a shame because how much he profited, and whoever else was involved in producing these videos, and all these girls. I mean, probably thousands of them out there who lent their body to these videos and saw nothing from it.
Yeah, they couldn't if they were not famous, they couldn't monetize. They were shamed in real life, like they were instantly recognized, and they even show that he promoted saying the pretty girls are going to be harder to get their shirts off. Stay on it, be persistent, they'll do it.
Did they interview any of the girls that had been in the videos?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Okay.
Their lives were never the same.
And then what was the demise, I guess, if you will, of Girls Gone Wild? So he went to jail at one point?
He had multiple lawsuits. He ended up doing 11 months in Reno for some unrelated charge. They tried to get him on a RICO charge, which means it was like a large case in the Panama City case where there were 2 women that were in the shower and 2 women that he forced to touch him. And they couldn't make that stick. So he beat one case and then he had another charge levied against him, I think in Los Angeles, like assault from a woman, and he just left the country. He has not been back in the country since. He's been on tape for fighting with his wife who left. They did a Girls Gone Wild, who's the hottest girl, and she won, and he ended up marrying her and having 2 kids. She has his 2 kids in another country. And then his one of his housekeepers been on video where he's been chasing her. So he's just all the way around. I don't know.
Ooh, wow, what a catch, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this docuseries has really brought up some discussion about where we are in the world today and how now women have the control and the ability to expose themselves on whatever level they want, and they're the ones completely in control of it, whether that's, I guess, through their Instagram, their social media, or through OnlyFans. And this one girl on OnlyFans, what is her name? Let's see, I don't have her name, but she apparently, she's posted, oh, I do have her name, Sophie Rain. She's 20, because she's in Florida. And she said she made $43 million this past year, or maybe it was last year, but in 1 year, she made $43 million, and that she is a devout Christian and a virgin, and that she does not, she says she does not do pornography posts in her OnlyFans.
Okay, so she might not post like that, but this will be my confession. You know this. I have looked at OnlyFans, but I looked at you pay for one person and you can pay for them to do private things for you.
Oh, so what you're saying is she does maybe that privately, but not on her
You're
main.
not making 43 from what I saw. You are not making 43 million from being cute and showing naked pictures. You're not.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to be catty, but from what I saw of her, she's not the best looking girl I've ever seen. I mean, she's adorable, but $43 million adorable? No.
Nope.
I say no.
Nope. But speaking of, how it's changed, what girls and men, we have different opinions. Let's have some fun. I'm going to play our game. I'm going to play our game with you.
Okay, I'm
Okay, so I'm
ready
gonna
for
show
some
you a
dates.
bunch of shoes, and you're gonna tell me if you think it's girl hot or guy hot. Okay,
Okay.
this is pair number one.
Ooh, I'm gonna go girl hot on that
Really?
because
Even though it's
the
closed-toed?
because of the closed toe, and then that bone color on the toe isn't the most sexy. Now,
Okay.
from like above the end the ankle with the black and the strap, that's definitely guy sexy, guy hot.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't think you'd say that on that one. Okay, what about this pair?
I'm gonna say that's alien hot.
I actually wore these on a date to the movies with like a shirt that was a similar color. Really
Ooh,
cute.
and how did that turn out? Wait, somehow your mic dropped out. Your voice dropped out on the.
Well,
Okay, but
oh well.
I will say on those, I'm gonna go guy hot on those because they're fun. They're
Okay.
fun and sexy.
Okay, here's the next one.
Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna say girl hot because
Really? They're
it's
nude?
the color. It's the color. I think mostly men are attracted to bright colors.
So interesting. Okay, so then what about this pair? Sorry, this pair is brand new. I've never worn it.
Girl hot because guys are they're gonna feel like that heals a lot.
Okay, so I
The
feel
wedge.
like I could at this point probably get rid of all of my wedges, including my Jessica Simpsons. They're so hard to walk around in when the ground's not flat, and the casinos are not flat.
Hmm.
They're usually like the cobblestone or it changes to carpet.
Yes. Yeah.
Guys, in my opinion, hate wedges.
Yeah.
Hate. Hate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's expand on that point for a minute. Being that we give local advice on Las Vegas, because this is very good advice. You're a girl, or you're someone that likes wearing heels or wedges, and you're coming to Vegas. Yes, please know, one, you are walking, even if you don't plan on walking the strip, the hotel, you're staying anywhere on the strip, you are walking a bit of a distance. And in the hotels, the terrain, the flooring, if you will, changes constantly. From carpet to some cobblestone to
Yeah.
stamped concrete to
Paris, Planet
yeah.
Hollywood, Caesar's Palace have those giant uneven pebbles. And they're
Mhm.
very hard to. I can remember going to Mona Gabi on a date, and I took my shoes off and walked to the restaurant because it was so difficult to walk in the shoes.
Yes, and especially in the places where it's the retail, like say the Forum Shop. The
Yeah.
Forum Shop is notorious.
Yes.
Whenever we love going and doing like an annual visit to the Forum
Yes.
Shops and
You
going
do.
to Joe's Crabstone for lunch.
Yeah.
And I know that I need to have like a special rubbery thing on the bottom of whatever shoe I'm
Mm-hmm.
wearing because that floor is not only uneven, but it's slippery.
Yeah.
And
I'll
if
usually just tell people I can't walk that fast.
Yeah.
I just will walk slower. I mean, so if it's not the cobblestone like the Wynn, which we love the Wynn, it's got that marble, that shiny marble, and then it
Yes.
goes to carpet. So you're like, how do you win that game? You can't.
Yeah.
That's probably why I have all these shoes that I'm like, they're ready for someone else to take ownership.
Okay, so this pair, let's see. I'm gonna say, okay, I'll go guy hot on this. I'm kind of like that gladiator lace up situation, and you got the little peep for the toe.
But are you
And
seeing anyone wearing these 5-inch heels? Because I'm not.
they're out there, and it's not as common, but
Couple
there's some
more.
girls out there.
Couple more.
Okay, what do we got? Ooh, oh, that falls in the alien hot category again.
I wore these to a food event out at the Red Rock Pool, and I navigated it.
Okay, nice. They're very cool. I'm gonna go probably girl hot on those.
Okay. Two more. Oh, 3 more. Never worn again. Wedges.
Girl hot, I think guys would be like, that whole, the giant wedge is a lot.
This part for me, like it's you're gonna fall.
Yeah.
I could think it would be different if we lived somewhere where you parked in front of the restaurant, but we don't.
Yeah. Oh, I like those.
Even
Oh,
this
okay.
tall?
Even that tall. Well, you do have the nice platform on it to help even you out. Are those Jessica's?
Oh, they look like Jessica. I think they're precursor to Jessica. They are a size 9. They are shoe dazzle.
Oh, cute. Gosh. Okay, I'll have to go girl hot because of the pattern. It's kind of like it's kind of like a tea afternoon tea vibe.
I would never wear
Yeah.
this to brunch.
Oh, really? Well, if you're
I'm going
doing
to a
a
bottomless
tea
brunch.
like over at what is it now? The Waldorf Astoria, where they have
Still
the
no.
afternoon tea. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Well, you give them to me, I'll wear them there.
Okay, you got it. Last one.
Oh, so is it gonna be girl hot again for me?
And I
I think
wore
just
him
because
to
of the color.
one of those painting classes that I painted the bottom
Ah!
red. So none of these are really guy hot except for that one or two pair. All right, you did good. You did good.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna post all those shoes for sale on our link tree, and they can go to a new home. One has your name on
Yeah.
it.
Hey, oh my gosh, I'm excited.
Let's talk about Southern Charmed. That
Yeah,
finally started.
exciting.
It was definitely different watching it from having now been in Charleston. I would say, seeing it's all trees, which I did not expect. It's like you get on the freeway and either side of the freeway is trees. And then when they were going in some of the stores on King Street, I had to look and see what was around it to know if I made it that far walking down the street. There's nowhere to park on King Street, and they will tow. There's people that actively drive around towing cars
Mhm.
because it was not made for parking garages. If you do find somewhere to park, I think it was like $50.
Oh wow. So what do people do? Do they take the lift down there, or is there?
That's what I kept asking the Lyft drivers, and that's mainly what it is. He even said that somebody was doing a job interview and they towed the car during the job interview
Oh my gosh. Yikes.
because there's
Well,
just
no.
they weren't made for. They didn't make parking lots in the back of that
Uh,
time, right?
so people who are visiting there, they're staying at the hotel and then they're just walking a couple blocks to get to
Yes.
all the
And then they
restaurants.
have the little carriages or the pedicabs that you can get in, which are
Okay.
we have a blast in those. So
Okay.
what
Fun.
have you thought about the first few episodes?
So I just only seen the premiere, the first one, and overall it was kind of a snooze for me.
Oh.
It wasn't that juicy. Um, the cast, let me kind of talk about the cast a little bit. Because they were ramping up for the new season to premiere. They've been playing a bunch of the old
Mm-hmm.
seasons, right, to kind of get you warmed up and excited. So Southern Charm hasn't been historically one of those shows that I've been as into as Housewives. So when the old episodes are on, I pick up a lot of new
Mm-hmm.
information, um, and then apply it to the recent season. And obviously, right, they've brought back the staples, Shep and Craig,
Mm-hmm.
and who am I missing? Uh,
Austin.
Austin, JT. So JT, he's been on 2 or 3 seasons, and so he's finding his footing. I really liked him last season,
Mm-hmm.
and the girl on the girl side, and then they have a couple other newer guys
Mm-hmm.
that are like, okay, whatever, they're just there. The girl side, so Madison, obviously, she's a polarizing, fun
Mm-hmm.
personality.
She was so
And
sweet in person, very soft spoken.
yeah, she was, which on screen, she kind of comes off a little more brazen.
Mm-hmm.
But the ex-girlfriend, then and they had that love triangle. Who remind me their names again?
Taylor.
Right, Taylor, and some of those girls are just really a snooze for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, so this first episode was not that exciting. It was interesting, the whole Shep thing where, you know, he is trying to redeem himself from a lot of bad behavior with just a lot of bad behavior. And we could talk about that more, but just to give my opinion, you know, I think he has changed a little bit. He's talked a lot about what he's done to go through some changes. And I think he just really wants to be on the show and redeem himself. He looks better.
Yeah. He
He
looks
looks
physically
like
fit to me.
he looks healthier and he's got himself together a little bit more. One of the things that stood out to me, because they've been playing these old seasons, is, you know, is Craig, because, you know, how much we love Craig. So I'm always like paying close attention to what he looks like, what he's saying.
Oh, it made hearts.
It made hearts. Cute. Yeah, and so he in the past episodes, he looks completely different. I mean, if you go back and you see some of like the first season, the second season,
but I think he admitted he was on like Ritalin or Adderall, so he had to, you know, he filled out a little, and he looks different. It's so bizarre. He's so attractive in person, and it doesn't really resonate to TV.
Yeah, he's still good looking on TV, of course, but not I mean, in person, he is.
It was like a cartoon better, where both of our eyes went boing. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it.
Well, you know, I mean, I guess, you know, he's filled out a little bit, so yeah, that's good. But we'll see. And the whole exchange at the end at the horse race with JT and Patricia was just really odd to me. So I don't know. I don't know if this is a case again of starting a fight where there's no fight for TV purpose or what.
We'll have to see. I mean, JT was quiet person, nice, didn't really talk a lot. Patricia was a hoot. My mom was trying to hook me up with Whitney, and she was like, I wouldn't do that to her. She was really nice. She was the only one sitting, so it was just such an experience to have met majority of that cast, and now to see it on TV. We'll see. But speaking of what I've seen on Instagram, did you see that Teddy's cheating on Tamara with another podcast?
That was news to me. Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, do you think that they're hiring writers? How could you do two podcasts and keep it fresh?
They must be. And, you know, are they just rehashing housewives stuff or talking about housewives gossip? Yeah.
I mean, I know why Erica's doing it, right? Because she wants that Louis Vuitton boat purse that Jennifer Tilly had. But
yeah,
I just thought that was so weird to me.
It is weird. And who knows, maybe her and Tamara are going to phase out their podcast. And
then, you know, she saw that Teddy's living at Kyle's.
Good for them. I thought that was kind of funny. And I instantly thought that would actually make a cute spinoff reality show. I'd tune in for that. I mean,
there must be something we don't see because no one likes Teddy. They come for her all the time. So what she's on screen and what she's on camera must be magnified when she's not on screen. Like, she must be even more direct and like really hammer you for like stuff that you shouldn't hammer friends for. Because there must be some reason they all collectively say, don't ever bring back Teddy.
Yeah, I know. That is very curious, which is why I was surprised how she's, you know, been successful with her podcast and then I guess continues to be.
It's just like Jeff Lewis. It's all who you have on it and like what gossip you spread, right?
Right.
Maybe Erica or maybe Teddy will come on ours.
Come on down, girls.
Last but not least, I didn't see all of what was said, but did you see this scandal with Vicky?
This was a funny one. Yeah.
What exactly did she say?
So there's some video. They have some video of her. She was doing Nick Vile's podcast, the the Veil Files. I'm pronouncing it wrong. The Veil Files, and which is a wildly successful podcast. And Vicky wasn't in their studio; she was remote. Looked like she was sitting outside in the OC
At a beach, right?
at the beach, right? And so the podcast ends, and she probably just still had her mic on, or maybe she didn't sign out of the the studio. And she immediately says, she says to whoever she's sitting at the table with, oh, I did that as a favor to somebody. This guy has his own network and his own podcast, all the millions of followers, but I've never heard of him. And she's like, what's his Nick Vale, Nick Vile, or
Nick
something
Vile,
like
yeah.
that. It's so funny. And then come to find out, they actually, and they were all laughing in the studio because it's Nick, and then I guess he's got a few other
I saw
people.
that part, yeah.
And then but apparently they reached out to her and told her what happened, asked her permission to use the whole clip, and she gave her permission. And I thought, you know what, but hey, good for her. I mean, it's not a tragic thing to have happen.
No.
I mean, the lady didn't know who he was, and she was doing a favor for somebody. And look, she's in the news, she's on TMZ, she's keeps herself out there and relevant.
She might be fun on our drinking island. Just to whoop it up.
I think
speaking of,
Is that going on your podcast?
last but not least, we got to talk about Cowboy Christmas here in town.
Yeah.
So the NFR is here in town it ends up being like over 10 days, I think. And I've only gone once, which it was really intense to see in person because I was front row. It looks like they're going to come right over the fence. But we went to Cowboy Christmas, which I think just doesn't have the right title because it doesn't tell you what it actually is. So my dad had been trying to get me to go, I want to say for like 20 years. It's been in town for that long. And I kept saying no. So finally I broke down and I went last year, and then I had to go twice last year. So I was like, oh, Heather, you got to come to this thing. It's like, it has nothing to do with, there was very limited Christmas. It was like booth after booth of some Western themed stuff, but for the most part, just really fun, unique gift items. I mean, I can't say that it was super cheap, not super expensive, but there were fur coats, there was a bunch of jewelry, there was Christmas gnomes, there were bells, there were, the Louis Vuittons with fringe. And it just goes on from the front of the South Hall to the back of the South Hall to the top of the South Hall. It's open from 9 to 4, and you can't get through all of it, honestly. I got there at 10, and we didn't even get to the second floor. What do you think? How was your first experience going?
Yeah, I'm really glad I went because I have heard of it for many, many years. And cowboy Western genre is not something that's my style in particular. Although, I mean, I do really appreciate it. So yeah, and on your recommendation, I'm like, okay, I can't miss it. I'll meet you there. So yeah, it's at the Las Vegas Convention Center, which is massive. And it took up the 2 floors. And yeah, the best way for me to describe it would be, it's, a country themed, I'm going to say swap meet, but that's no shade, just meaning that it's a booth style setup where each booth is going to be, there's something different, in all types of categories, from, jewelry to apparel to gifts, homewares. And then, they have things that are really particular to living on a ranch or a farm, where they had giant trailers that you could go and tour. Looked amazing. If we had a little more time, I actually would have liked to pop into some of those giant trailers. They were.
Oh, I didn't even think you could go in them. I didn't see people. Were there people in there?
Yeah. You could actually. It's almost like an
By
RV
the time
show.
I get to those trailers are at the end. I'm like, get me out of here, right? Because you're like, there were so many people. This one, it's free. It's free to go in there, though.
Yeah, free entrance. And then they do have bars all over. I mean, they're a little, they're limited in terms of what kind of alcohol they have, but you can walk around with a drink. And then there is some food. It's like snack food style, like at any arena.
It was limited, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you're right. There, you could spend thousands of dollars,
Yeah.
or you could spend, $15 on
Yep.
something small.
We got
And
these cutie little.
yes, we're wearing our earrings. So if you go on our YouTube channel, you can, of course, watch all of our episodes and see us in person. But so I thought it was fantastic, and I could see how people would go more than one day and check it out. And you definitely would want to, take a ride share there.
There's
or
no
a
parking.
taxi.
Yeah.
Because parking's limited. I did read the parking was $15 if you can get it wherever on the convention center parking lot. Or they suggest that, you take in the monorails, and the tram, that type of thing, to get as close as you possibly can. So, yeah.
I did flood our TikTok with videos of me needing a chaperone, for the most part, commenting on what you can see at the booth, and it gives you a pretty good idea. So that's Heather's Do Vegas on TikTok, DEUX Vegas. Have fun with what I put on there. Sometimes I need a lady chaperone, a lady sitter. Yesterday was probably one of those times.
And I probably wasn't the right lady sitter.
I know, you just contribute.
Yeah, I think it was more of an accomplice than a.
Yeah, we both need lady sitters.
Yeah, but
you think Craig's free? Lady sit?
You never know. Look if that pillow business doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Funny. Cool. Yeah. Check it out. We recommend it. And yeah, NFR is here in town, and a lot of other fun events that are surrounding the NFR. Yeah. Well, I think that does it for us this episode.
Does.
Okay. Well, cool. Well, yeah. Hey, and then also don't forget to rate, subscribe, recommend us to a friend, and send us a review. We'd love to see those, and we'd love to get your feedback. So until next time,
don't do anything
we wouldn't do.
Bye, Heather.
Bye, Heather.